Welcome to AI Gigi. Are you curious about AI but feel overwhelmed by the jargon? You're in the right place. Live from New York, I'll bring you inside the latest AI events happening in New York, cover global AI news, and break down practical concepts that can connect to your daily life. Whether you're just starting out or just looking to keep up with exciting developments, join me for clear and approachable conversations that connect groundbreaking technology to everyday life. Let's explore the future of AI together. I attended an AI event yesterday focused on Gen AI, LLMs, and ML, hosted by the global AI community. As many of you might already know, Gen AI stands for Generative Artificial Intelligence, LLM refers to large language models, and ML is short for machine learning. The event took place at the Microsoft office in Times Square, New York, right next to the New York Times building. Here's a video I took at the venue. You can see people lining up to get their badges. This isn't my first time attending an AI event at the Microsoft office, and just like before, it was packed. People came from all over the world, not just from the US, but also from Europe and Asia. And it wasn't just software developers or data scientists. Many attendees came from non-technical backgrounds, eager to catch up with the latest technology trends. Some were pursuing advanced degrees, while others were considering a career shift into the AI field. Here are more videos showing the inside Microsoft office. We got free pizza, and I love the vibes here. The first speaker, Roya, talked about Gemini for app development. Yep, we were at a Microsoft venue, and they were promoting Google's Gemini. Gotta love the irony. The most interesting part? While Roya was showing how to get Gemini to write Python code for her app, it ended up calling ChatGPT for the LLM instead of using Gemini's own model. Just a reminder, ChatGPT is still running the show in the space. Roya also broke down the difference between natural language processing, NLP, and large language models, LLMs. Here's the easy way to think about it. NLP is like Google Translate. It's basically a dictionary that helps translate words, but doesn't actually get what you're saying. LLMs, like ChatGPT or Google Gemini, are more like someone who's read a ton of books and can hold a real conversation, not just spit out word-for-word translations. The second speaker, Hari, talked about AI for content creators, basically, how to make AI sound like you. He used Easy Scraper to pull data from his LinkedIn profile and train the AI to mimic his voice and style. My husband mentioned how much he's learned from AI when it comes to writing. I joked we become AI and AI becomes us. Everyone laughed because, let's be honest, it's kinda true. Here is my interview with my husband about the AI event.
So we were at the Microsoft venue, but we were talking about Google Gemini. What do you think about that?
Yeah. So that was it was funny. So there was a funny moment where somebody asked the presenter to show us how you write the code in Gemini. And so she opens up Gemini. She types in like write me a code that does this and that, whatever it was, and then the code that Gemini gave her suggested to use the OpenAI API. And so it was a funny moment about Google's AI telling you to use its competitors.
Yeah, not Google, not Microsoft.
Yeah. But I mean, but the thing about that is like it makes sense, right? Because let's face it, ChatGPT, OpenAI is the most popular, right? I mean, it's everybody knows it's the trendy, it's got the most buzz. So there's going to be more content of OpenAI online, right? Because that's it. And so if the large language models are learning from things on the internet and it's scoring things based on that, it's going to score things higher that are more popular. So it would make sense that it references that.
So if AI can mimic your voice, what would be the most common saying?
Yeah. So I don't know that I have like it's hard to say like, well, what would be the most common saying or the most common phrase? Um, I more think of like what I want, because like when I think about AI, it's like what do I want it to do, and how do I want it to sound like me? And yeah, that makes sense. Like, what would be the phrases that it would use? Um, but really, what I want from it, like, is I want it to, I want it to sound like me, right? I want it to have my tone, my style, right? And I give it all this information. I say like, here's how I write. This is, or it'll give me text, and I say, okay, actually, this is what I chose, right? Here's what I said, and I want it to start learning like my style, and it hasn't gotten there yet. But I think one thing that I think, or that I want from it, is I want it to be able to make more analogies, more comparisons when explaining something, right? Like, don't just give me a textbook definition, right? Give me a textbook definition and then compare that to something else, right? Like, if you're going to try and explain, like, if I wanted to tell me how to explain something, how you explain something is a lot of times it's, well, let me use this as an example that you might understand, and then you could relate it to this other topic.
That's my sharing for the New York AI event. If you like the content, please like and subscribe my channel. See you next time.